The table below shows the number of box, spring and mattress units sold over 4 weeks at a bedding store. So we got two different types of bedding types. One is box spring type and one is mattress type. So we were given sales of week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, and we have done first problem. So now coming to fifth problem, that is second problem. Approximately what percentage of all units sold came from week 2? Approximately what percentage of all units sold came?
Share your screen.
Oh, sorry.
Let's see.
Yeah. Let me share. Yeah. So now we have done this problem, first problem of this problem, which is based on table. So now coming to the second problem for the same data. So we were given two types of beddings. One is box springs and mattress, and we are given the sales of week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. So now coming to fifth problem, see here, approximately what percentage of all units sold came from week 2? Now that means he is asking what is the percentage of week 2 out of total. So what we have to do now? Percentage of all types in week 2 or of week 2 out of total. So what is the calculation we have to do here? So when we want to find percentage, for example, if you got some 70 out of 100, so what will you do? You have to divide.
Multiply by 100.
Yeah, 70 by 100 multiplied by 100. So in the same way, so the total sales of week 2 is 103, and the total sales is 386 out of 4 weeks. Now see here, what percentage of all units sold came from week 2? That means week 2 sales by total sales into 100. Okay, so therefore it will be week 2 sales by total sales times 100. So now the week 2 sales will become 103, total sales is 386 times 100. So now we have to do this calculation. It will be approximately, let me do it, 103 3s are 309. 0300 divided by 386. So we are getting approximately 26.68 percentage. So it is 26.68 or 26.7%. So option B is correct.
Yeah, we can use calculator.
Yeah. So option B is correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Now for the same data, we got one more question. Let me do it. Now he is asking to find the mattresses accounted for approximately what percentage of all units sold during week 1. So if you read the question carefully, he is particularly asking about mattresses type only. So mattresses accounted for approximately what percentage of all units during first week. That means number of mattresses in week 1 by total units in week 1 into 100. So yeah, In week 1, 47 mattresses are sold out of total 85. So what we have to do, we have to do a simple calculation, that is 47 by 85 into 100. So which is approximately, I think, less than 50%. No, sorry, greater than 50%. I think 55% is the answer, because half of 85 is 42.5. Okay, half of 85 is 42.5. It is slightly greater than 42.47. So definitely it will be 55.3. Or else let me do the calculation. Okay, so even if I do the calculation, I'll get the same answer. 4700 divided by 85 is equal to 55.3% exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. What was the approximate percentage increase in the number of mattresses sold from week 3 to week 4? He's asking the percentage decrease in the number of mattresses sold from week 3 to week 4. So I'll just discuss the basic formula for percentage increase and percentage decrease. So even yesterday also we have discussing. Let me
Yeah.
write it again. Yeah, percentage increase means the final value minus initial value, and we have to always compare with initial value times 100, whereas percentage decrease will be initial value minus final value, because whenever the percent is decreasing, so initial value will be more, so we have to subtract from initial value. So initial value minus final value by initial value times 100. So if we use the second formula, since we are asked to find percentage decrease from week 3 to week 4. Okay, so from week 3 to week 4 we are asked to find percentage decrease. So let me check the sales of mattresses from week 3 to week 4. Week 3 it was 68, week 4 it was 43. So 68, it is decreased from 68 to 43. Now let me substitute in the formula. So 68 minus 43 over 68 times 100. So which will become 68 minus 43 is 25. 2500 by 68. So I think it is approximately some near to 40%, but let me check. 2500 divided by 68. So 36.76%. That means 37% is the answer. So option A. So it's a straight question based on the formula. Okay. Now the questions which are based on the table is finished. Then we will move on to one more topic. Okay. Next question.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah, we have completed 7th question, 8th question.
Yeah.
Yeah, the discount price of a book is 20% less than the retail price. Okay, so if it is being sold at 100 rupees, now the discount price will be 20% less than that, it will be 80. Now James manages to purchase the book at 30% of the discount price at a special book sale. What percent of retail price did James pay? Now read the question once again, then we'll understand it very clearly. So the discount price of a book is 20% less than the retail price. Okay. Now James manages to purchase the book at 30% of the discount price. So he still manages to buy with an extra discount of 30% of discount price. For example, let us think that we have a book. Okay. So let me write it as some book. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now let the initial cost be rupees 100. So it is a retail price. Okay, it is a retail price. That means without any discount, one have to purchase this book for 100 rupees. Now since there is some sale is going on the discount, discount is given as 20%. That means 20% out of 100 is 20 rupees. So 80 will be my discounted price. 80 will be my discounted price. But now what James did is he still he still managed to reduce 30% of this discount price. That means he purchased 30%. I mean, he still reduced the discount price by 30%. So he will be purchasing with 70% of this discounted price. So 0.7 times 80. So which will be 56. Now compared to original price, retail price 100, he managed to buy at 56. That means the overall percentage of retail price that James pay is 56%. Let me tell you once again. In the beginning of this chapter, we have discussed a table. For example, if the product price is increased by 20%, we can directly multiply with 1.2. If a product price is increased by 30%, we can directly multiply with 1.3. In the same way, if the product price is decreased by 20%, so what is the factor we have to multiply? Decreased by 20%. So what is the factor we have to multiply with? 0.8. But 0.2 will give you discount price. The final price will be 0.8. So 0. Yeah, very good. Exactly. So 0.8 times 100 will give me 80. And James managed to purchase this book at still 30% less. That means he is spending 70% for this thing. So 70% of 80, 0.7 into 80 will become 56. So this is the final rupees. This is the final rate he is purchasing. Now for 100 rupees, imagine if the cost of book is 100 rupees, he is spending 56 rupees. So the overall percentage he spent was 56% when compared to retail price. So the option D is correct. Okay. So coming to ninth question, each day Robert eats 40% of the pistachios left in his jar at the time. So he eats 40% of the pistachios left in his jar at time. So if there are 10 pistachios, he will eat 4. If there is 20 pistachios, he will eat 8. That means whatever is the number of pistachios in the jar, he will eat 40% of that. Okay. So that is the first part of question. At the end of the second day, 27 pistachios remain or pistachios remain. How many pistachios were in the jar at the start of the first day? It's a pretty simple question. Let me explain you. So for example, we have some kind of pistas here, and if there are 10 pistas, he will be eating 40%. That means he will be eating 4. That means the remaining will be 6. And if there are 6 pistas, the next day he will be eating 40% of that 6 pistas. So then 40% of 6 will be 2.4. So 6 minus 2.4 will be 3.6 pistas will be left to the next day. So like that he will eat 40% of whatever is there in the jar. Okay. Yeah. Now assume that we don't know the number of pistas in the jar. So let me write day 1 and day 2. Now initially at day 1, so there are X pistas. I'll just use the short form of the word pistachios, pistas. Okay. Now he will eat 40% of that. That means 40% of X is consumed. Now we will be left with 60% of pistas. Is that fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 40% of the pistas is consumed and we are left with 60% at the end of first day. Now the data is given at the end of second day. So second day also we will do the same process. Out of this 60% of pistas, 0.6 pistas, again he will consume 40%. So 0.4 of 0.6x. So we will be left with 0.6 of 0.6x. That means every day he is consuming 40%, we are left with 60%. And second day also he is consuming 40% of the remaining, and we are left with 60% of the remaining. So I think you got my point. So initially, initially there are X pistas. So he consumed 40%, we are left with 60%. And in that 60%, in day 2, he consumed 40% of the 60%, and we are left with 60% of the 60%. So it will be 0.6 times 0.6 times X. So which is 0.36 times X, and this is given as 27. So 0.36 times X is given as 27. So the next would be 27 by 0.36. So which we can do it by help of normal table. 9 3s are 9, 0.4s are. So it would be 3 into 100 by 4. So approximately 75, or else we can directly use calculator. 27 by 0.36, we can do normal calculation. 27 divided by 0.36, so 75 is the answer. So 75 is the exact answer. So like that we can do. Okay, right. Okay,
Yeah.
we will move on to one more question. Yeah. John bought a doll at a 10% discount of original price of rupees, dollars 105.82. So this is the first part of the question. Let me repeat again. Sorry.
See the bitch.
Yeah. Just done undo of the thing.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. John bought a doll at a 10% discount of the original price of $105.82. So the original price was $105.82 and John managed to buy at 10% discount, so he will be paying 90% of the amount. However, she had to pay a sales tax of X% on the discounted price. If the total amount she paid for the doll was $100, what is the value of X? So we need to find the percentage of tax here. Okay, let me do it now. So we'll write step by step, we'll get the answer easily. So the original price, let me write the original price of some doll was 105.82. Now John managed to get 10% discount. That means John's price will be 90% of that, because 10% he got as discount, so he used to, he has to pay 90% of that. That means 0.9 times 105.82, and 0.9 times 105.82, let me do it calculation here itself. So it would be 95.238. So the original price was 105.82 and John price was 95.23. So he paid this dollars. Now for this amount he has to pay sales tax of X%. So this is the tax, X%. Now X% of discounted amount. So X% of anything will be X by 100 times this 95.238. Now this original price and tax together she paid $100. Now we have to find this value of X. Let me do it very simple. 95.238 plus tax X by 100 times 95.238 is equal to 100. So let me take this 95.238 as common from both the numbers, such that it will become very easy calculation. So 95.23 is taken as, if we take in common, here I will be left with 1 and here I will be left with X by 100.
Okay.
So is equal to 100. Okay.
Yeah.
Now so 95.238 into 1 plus 0.01 times X is equal to 100. So if I send this 95.238 to that side, or if we divide with 95.23 on both sides, then it will become 1 plus 0.01 times X is equal to 100 by 95.238. So then 0.01x will be 100 by 95.238 minus 1. So this will become 100 divided by 95.238. So 1.05 minus 1 will give me 0.05. That means 0.01x will be 0.05 approximately. So x will be 5. 0.01 ones are 0.01 5s are. So x will be 5. So 5% will be the sales tax approximately. So option D is the correct answer.
Okay.
Yeah, option D. So
Wait, it's D, right?
yeah, option D. Option D.
Yeah.
The question is simple, but the numbers are in such a way that they cannot be easily done. So that's why the problem
But
is
you can use
lengthy.
calculator, so
Yeah, yeah. Then it's fine. Then it's fine. Even though without help of calculator we can do, but it will take some 1 or 2 minutes time. Okay.
yeah, each second matters.
Yeah. Okay then. The process is very simple. So first the original price was 105.82.
0.05, right? Was the final answer, so then it can be 5, right?
No, 0.01 times x is 0.05. Then x will become 0.05 by 0.01. So 5 times 5 will be 5%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So move on to 11th question. Yeah. In 2010, the number of houses built in town A was 25% greater than the number of houses built in town B. Yeah, okay. So in 2010, in 2010, there are two towns. One is town A and one is town B. Okay, town A and town B. So the number of houses built in town A was greater than number of houses built in town B. So if there are X houses built in town B, then there would be 25% greater houses. That means 1.25 times X. Okay, so this is 1.25 times X and this will be X during 2010. Now if 70 houses were built in town A during 2010, that means if this value is equal to 70 houses, then what is the value of X? Very simple, X is equal to 70 by 1.25. So we can directly divide with the 5 table. So 5 14s are, and 5 2 point, sorry, 525 that means 50.25. So 14 by 0.25, that means 14 by 1 by 4, which will be 56. Or you can use you can take the use of calculator. So 70 divided by 1.25, 56. That's it. The only thing is the first step is very important here.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he is giving that in 2010 the number of houses built in town A was 25% greater than the number of houses built in town B. So if the number of houses built in town B is X, then number of houses built in town A will be 1.25 times X. So if the town B is X, having X number of houses, then town A will be having 25% greater than that. That means 1.25 times X. And this value is given as 70. See here. If 70 houses were,
1.25 times greater, right?
yes,
That is
yes,
greater.
yeah.
Okay.
So initially in town B, if it is X, then town A will be 1.25 times X. 25% greater means directly we are, I mean, as I told you, so if it is 25% greater, to find the final value, we can directly multiply with 1.25. Okay, and that is equal to 70. So X is equal to 70 by 1.25, which will give us the answer as 56. Okay.
Yeah.
Over a 2 week span, John ate 20 pounds of chicken wings and 15 pounds of hot dogs, whereas Kyle ate 20% more chicken wings and 40% more hot dogs compared to John. So there are actually, I mean, let me stop the question here. We will discuss about the question here once, then we will move on to second part of the question. So we have two kind of persons. One is John and one is Kyle. So what actually John is doing? John ate 20 pounds of chicken wings and 15 pounds of hot dogs, whereas Kyle ate 20% more chicken wings than John and 40% more hot dogs than John. Now, considering only chicken wings and hot dogs, Kyle ate approximately X percent more food by weight than John. So, what is X? So, very simple. Okay, let me prepare a table, then we'll discuss.
Okay.
Yeah. So, two persons are there. The first person is John, and second person is Kyle. John and Kyle. So over a 2 week span, John ate 20% of chicken wings. So let me write chicken wings and hot dogs. So John ate 20 pounds of chicken wings and 15 pounds of hot dogs, whereas Kyle ate 20% more chicken wings. See, if he is eating 20% more, then what is the factor which we have to multiply with? He is eating 20% more, so what is the factor we need to multiply so that to find the exact value? Exactly, 1.2. 1.2 is correct. So 1.2 times 20 will be 24. Okay, because 12 2 is 24, right?
Yeah.
And hot dogs he is eating 40% more. So that means 1.4 times 15 will be 21, because 14 15 is 210, so it will be 21. Okay.
Yeah.
Now the total weight of what John is eating for 2 weeks is 35 pounds, and whereas Kyle is eating 45 pounds. Now he is asking the percentage increase. So the percentage increase formula is very simple: final value minus initial value by initial value into 100. So overall, John is eating 35 pounds, whereas Kyle is eating 45% overall, 45 pounds overall. So now he is asking what percent of X is more than John. So we need to find percentage increase. So we know the percentage increase formula, it will be final value minus initial value by initial value into 100. So it will be 1000 by 35, because 45 minus 35 is 10, and 10 times 100 will be 1000. So 1000 by 35, so which will be approximately 29 or 30. Let me do the calculation once again. 1000 divided by 35, yeah, 28.5, which can be approximately taken as 29%. Okay, I think it's fine for you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
good. Yeah, I understand.
yeah. And this is somewhat interesting question, 13th question. Let me do it. So let me read the question once. Jane is playing a board game in which she must collect as many cards as possible. On her first turn, she loses 18% of her cards. On the second turn, she increases her card count by 36%. If her final card count after these two turns is n, which of the following represents her starting card count in terms of n? Okay, yeah. So let me read it once again. Jane is playing a board game in which she must collect as many cards as possible. Now, on her first turn, she loses 18% of her cards. On the second turn, she increases her card count by 36%. That means for the existing cards in the first round, from that value she increased her card count by 36% more. Increased means more. Now if her final card count after these two turns is n, which of the following represents her starting card count in terms of n? Okay. Now, since we don't know the starting number of cards which she is possessing, which she is having, so let us take the starting count as some x. Okay. So let the starting number of cards which she possesses is equal to some x. Okay. Now, in the first turn, she loses 18%. As I told you in the previous problem, if percentage is decreased by 20%, with which factor we have to multiply? If the percentage is decreased by 20%, with which factor you have to multiply so to get the final value? No, I'm just asking, if the percentage is decreased by 20%, so we need
Yeah.
to multiply with
0.8.
exactly. If the percentage is decreased by 20%, we need to multiply 0.8. In the same way, here she lost 18%. Now the existing cards will be 100 minus 18. 100 minus 18 will be 82. So we need to multiply with 0.82. So the final value will be 0.82 times x. I hope you are clear with this thing. 0.82, because if it is 20%, then 0.8 is the factor. Here it is decreased by only 18%. So 0.82 times x. Okay. Now, after the second turn, she increased her card count by 36%. So 36% increase is there. That means we have to multiply with 1.36. 1.36 of this existing value, not x. Okay. 1.36 times of this existing value, because she is increasing after first round. So that 36% will be based on her first round. So 36% increase, that means 1.36 times 0.82x. So 1.36 times 0.82x. Now this is equal to n. Okay. Now he's asking to find the value of x in terms of n. So x will be n divided by 1.36 times 0.82. So I think option C is correct. Option C, direct answer is C. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are some 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. So can you do one thing? Can you try these questions from 14 to 19? So and send it to me. 14 to 18.
Yeah. Sure.
I think by today evening, at the end of the day, for me it is evening. Like here the exact time is now 8 o'clock. So by evening 8 p.m. IST. So can you send me the work before our class so that we can? I will
Yeah.
also do these questions.
We connect same time a little earlier, in this time only, but a little
Okay,
earlier.
okay.
Connect.
Okay then. We'll do one thing. We'll just connect. I mean, I think it is being 7 o'clock or 7:15 today. So let me connect with around 6:15. Okay. So
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
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 Okay, Shashank. So I'll just record all these problems. If you do the homework, then I'll send it. Okay.